To save a building is to save a heart, all its chambered memory, all its part in history.
On the northwestern shore of Lake Michigan, in Michigan's Lower Peninsula, lies Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. 68 miles of shoreline enhanced with massive sand dunes, clear lakes, dense beech maple forests, and crystalline streams. And offshore, bathed by the unpredictable waters of Lake Michigan, but part of the park, sit the Manitou Islands, tranquil and uninhabited. And there is more. Somewhat hidden at the northern coastal edge of the park is a historic farm community, dotted with picturesque farmhouses, barns, sheds, and cemeteries. This is the Port Oneida Rural Historic District, placed on the National Register of Historic Places, officially recognizing it as a national treasure and a premier site for preservation. This farming community developed in the late 19th century near Port Oneida and Glen Haven, both villages eagerly serving the lumber boom. The villagers were drawn to this area because of the bustling shipping traffic in the Manitou Passage. At picturesque Glen Haven, several buildings are being renovated and adapted for reuse. The Sleeping Bear Inn awaits reuse. And the cannery is now being used to house and display the park's extensive historic Lake Michigan boat collection. And now, through a cooperative initiative between the National Lakeshore and Preserve Historic Sleeping Bear, these weathered farmsteads are entering an exciting new phase. At the Olson Farm, the Park Service and members of Preserve Historic Sleeping Bear are beginning the transformation of this turn-of-the-century farmstead.
It started when the Park Service announced that they didn't have the funds they needed to take care of these historic buildings. When people in the community found out about that, we responded and organized a grassroots group called Preserve Historic Sleeping Bear to help the park preserve the buildings and promote historic preservation.
We formed a partnership with the National Park Service and we're really looking forward to it. We're going to educate the public on what the actual the nature of the buildings are and the vulnerability of them, and we're also going to pull together some partners to try and fill these buildings back up and make them active again.
We, since the beginning of this project, have depended on the kind of local energy that's being displayed in the work that's happening here right now. That's about community participation, business support, and government leadership. And it is a great example of how people can work together and accomplish remarkable goals.
The Port Oneida Rural Historic District is only a part of an extremely diverse historic inventory within the national park. Just a few miles offshore in Lake Michigan, both South and North Manitou Islands reveal the remains of 19th century communities, lighthouses, life-saving stations, farms, and even old summer cottage clusters. Some have been restored, while some await repair and eventual restoration. They represent the intriguing lighthouse and island architecture that is so reminiscent of early Great Lakes life. Also within the park are several early 20th century structures of great historic interest. The Buckaloo Lodge, a family cabin from the turn of the century, and the Kentucky Inn, a 1920s lodge catering to Michigan's emerging tourist trade.